it's that time of month again, where we talk about what I hope to read in October. I just want to start this video by giving a huge thank you to my patrons. Thank you for helping me to pursue my passion. Hey everyone, welcome back to Andrew's Wizardly Reads, and as always guys, I'm Andrew, and today we have got my October MBR, but before we get into that, make sure you're liking and subscribing, hitting that bell notification so you can get regular updates for when I put out new content. Also, make sure you're checking the description box down below for the link to the Wizardly Discord, as well as links to all my social media, including information about my Patreon, where I do quarterly giveaways, weekly reading wrap-ups, and other general bookish content. Now guys, this is a very ambitious October MBR, specifically because I'm participating in a readathon over at the Bookish Drummer Discord, which will be linked in the description box down below as well. And guys, I am the captain of Team Pennywise, and this is going to be a very, very fun and very competitive readathon, because just the way the points work, you can take points from other teams by fulfilling their prompts while also gaining points for your team. So there is a lot of strategy involved, and I am not disclosing my strategy. And so guys, I'm also moving. I'm currently house hunting. We have offers in on houses. I don't know if I'm going to be able to read all this stuff, but I'm going to try. Thus, MBR! Alright, so I guess it's time to just jump in and talk about the books. Specifically, the digital books first, because it is rising from the ashes. A Howdy Partner, run by Raoul Reads, has been resurrected to read The Dark Heart of Redemption by Darran Handshaw. Guys, if you did not see my author interview with Darran Handshaw, please make sure to check the description box down below or up in the cards. I will have it in both places. It was a great time where we discussed mainly the engineer of the first book, but this is book 2, The Dark Heart of Redemption, but they're kind of standalone, so you can read one or the other. Next up, I'm going to be reading Hall of Bones, which is book 1 in the Brotherhood of the Eagle by Tim Hardy. This was an SPFBO finalist last year. I am so excited to read this one. I've actually got a little bit of a buddy read going on with Zara, and yeah, I can't wait to discuss that with her a little further. Next up, I have got A Handful of Souls by Stephen Rice. This is one of my arcs that I have to get to. I am super excited about it because the cover is awesome and the blurb for the story has me super excited. Please make sure to check this one out because it sounds amazing. And if enough people want to check it out, I might even open up a buddy read channel in the Discord. And then the patrons voted and they want me to read The King's Ranger by A.C. Cobble. Now I have this on audio. I did have it on physically, but as I said, I'm moving and I have to start getting rid of some books. And that one got sent away. But I do have the box set of like the first 3 on audio and narrated by Simon Vance. So I believe I'm in for a treat. All right, let's talk physical read. Now, like I said, guys, this is a very ambitious MBR. But if I'm going to do a Stephen King readathon, I need to read some Stephen King books. And so I've got some here for you. Starting off, we have got Christine. This is the only adaptation I've ever seen of Stephen King's all the way through. I watched it back in high school, which was like 14 years ago, which makes me feel incredibly old, but it's time to learn about Christine in book format, and I cannot wait to get this story because I loved that movie. Next up, with a recent adaptation that of course I didn't watch because I've only watched one, we have got Firestarter. This is one of the earlier books, and man, I've been curious about this story for years and years. This is kind of one of the books that made him a legend. So we have got Firestarter by Stephen King. We've got 3 more King books because Jake said that if you read The Dead Zone, it's his favorite and you get 50 points in the readathon. So that's the only strategy I am disclosing here. But we have got The Dead Zone by Stephen King because frankly, if it's Jake's favorite, I want to see why. Next up, we've got 2 more. We have got Stephen King, The Dark Half, and Stephen King's Misery. This one's legendary. Like, this is, like, there's a folio edition of this. It's got a, like, really famous movie adaptation. And then The Dark Half, I'm just curious. So, yeah, there is a lot of Stephen King being read here on the channel in October. So, fingers crossed that is mostly a hit, because Fairy Tale was, but, I mean, hey, I read it, I finished it. I mostly enjoyed it. It was just Meh. And then for my non-Stephen King reads, we've got some continuations, we've got some new ones, we've got some more review copies. Another review copy that I've got here is Moon Deeds by Palmer Pickering, the Star Children Saga book #1. And it's a bit of a beefier book, but I am super excited to get to this one. It is a sci-fi fantasy kind of mix-up, but like we've got the moon and we've got a nice little spaceship and we've got some scrolls and some crystals and some guns and some backpacks. I'm excited for this one because I believe Dominish and Kitty G both really enjoyed it, and so that makes me excited to read this story. Next up, we've got continuing Andrew D. Meredith's Catalian Cycle, Book 2, Deeper Faith. I know I've said the series name wrong, but I'm sticking with it because why not? I really enjoyed the first book, and so I cannot wait to get into Deeper Faith because I think we're following new POVs in this one. And every month, one of my patrons gets to select a book anywhere in my TBR that jumps straight to the top of the line. And they have chosen The Folding Knife by K.J. Parker. So I finally start my KJP journey here a little bit early. I have got way too many K.J. Parker books. I have a ton of them, and frankly, I am excited to start with The Folding Knife because I've heard nothing but great things, and I think that this is a solid place to start with K.J. Parker. Wrapping up the Shadow campaigns, we have got the Infernal Battalion. It has been 6 months coming, but we are finally coming to the end of Django Wexler's The Shadow campaigns. I have had a mostly solid experience with the Shadow campaigns. I'd give the entire series up to this point probably a 4.25 out of 5. I've really enjoyed it, but I mean, it just doesn't hit that 5-star highs for me. But I am not sorry that I read it. All right, and then continuing on with the Warlord Chronicles, we have got Enemy of God by Bernard Cornwell. This is an Arthurian retelling, and guys, this is awesome. I've got these on audio because I've heard that the audio experience was the way to go, and so that is how I've been consuming these stories, and I must say, they are fantastic. And then finally, we have got Book 8 of the Wheel of Time. That's right, guys, we are in the slog for the Wizardly Duo read-along for the Wheel of Time. This is Book 8, where some say the slog officially begins. I don't really remember a whole lot about this book, other than the fact that it's quite slow, and some of it can be considered filler. But hey, I mean, I'm here, I'm committed, I'm going to finish the Wheel of Time on audio, just to say that I have done it. And guys, that should be around 15 books read here for October 2022. Let me know in the comments down below what you are hoping to read in October, and we will see if I can get this read, because like I said, moving and hosting a readathon and judging 2 self-pub competitions. So it's going to be quite hectic. That said, guys, that is all I have got here for you today. So, as always, till next time, peace out, stay magical, bye. And as always, I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons.